Hi, my name is Dr. Schweinsgruber from audioreviews.org. You know me, and today we are talking about the best sounding dongle DAC amp that there is right now, and also one of the most powerful, and that is the EarMen Sparrow. Obviously, it's a take on the AudioQuest Dragonfly. Sparrow, it's Dragonfly. The company is a subsidiary of Auris Audio, a premium hi-fi manufacturer, and it is registered in Chicago, Illinois, USA. But the technical team and the production are in Kruševac, that's in Serbia, that's on the Balkans, in Europe. So what you get is a product that's made in Europe, and they also brought us that excellent EarMen Preamp or Tramp, you got it, and then they have the Donald Duck, which is a digital analog converter. So they are into puns, and there is the EarMen Eagle, where they obviously ran out of ideas of strange names, which is the downgrade version of the EarMen Sparrow. First of all, just this thing plays or decodes everything. DSD, DXD, PCM, and M&A rendering. I say this right away because I couldn't care less about that. I don't subscribe to any of these services, so it doesn't really matter to me. So in the box, there's not very much. There is the actual unit. There is a USB. It's got a USB-C connector, so you have a USB-C to USB-A cable, which you can connect to a Windows computer or a older Mac, or you have this cable, USB-C to USB-C, which is more useful for connecting to a phone and to a newer Mac. So the build is aluminum, and the upper and lower side they are made of glass. And what's a little bit strange is it doesn't come with a sheath or a protecting anything, and I use an old Apple sock to store it because I don't want the glass to scratch. So maybe EarMen next time just put a little leather sheath in there, as your competition does, and that's AudioQuest. Okay, it features the top of the line Sabre chip, and please don't ask me the number. It's kind of dreadful, these combinations, but it is one of the strongest amplifying DAC amps on the market. You have got two sockets. You've got a 2.5 millimeter balanced, and you've got a 3.5 millimeter single-ended, and the balanced delivers 2 volts into 32 ohm and 4 volts into 600 ohm. And the single-ended one delivers 1.4 volts into 32 ohms and 2.0 volts into 600 ohms. So the balanced circuit is much, much stronger, and obviously drains also more battery. So the paradox is that obviously the balanced output delivers more power, but it's these hard to drive full-sized headphones. It's much more difficult to get a suitable cable for them, especially since the connectors are all proprietary, the ones to the headphones. So it's much easier to get any hard to drive any cables for hard to drive earphones. So with the single-ended, I tried the 300 ohm Sennheiser HD600. It kind of does it, but it's reaching its limits. The 70 ohm Sennheiser HD25, no problem. And any of these piezo hard to drive above 50 ohm IEMs, very good. So what does that thing sound? Well, it's got a Sabre chip. Sabre chips have the reputation that they don't have much meat in the base, but EarMen worked very nicely around that, and it has a very full, it's a kind of a neutral to warm sounding amp or DAC amp dongle. It's got good extension at the lower end, at the upper end. It produces a full-bodied sound. It has natural dynamics, and it sounds quite analog. But because it's I said neutral warm, but it's more on the neutral side, so it works well with both warm IEMs such as Sennheisers, but also neutral IEMs such as Etymotics. It finds that middle ground, and so it's very versatile. And while the single-ended output is good, the star of this is the balanced output. I could test it because I used adapters for my 2.5 millimeter for my headphone jack, and it worked so I could go A and B, and there's a huge difference in sound quality between single-ended and balanced. Balanced just opens everything up. It's much fuller. The mids migrate forward, and that's why you buy it. That's why it costs $200. The single-ended is so it's normal. It's as good as any other. Probably the Eagle sounds like that, but the balanced is the one you really want it for. And I used it mainly with the computer because you really don't need a full size or something like this on a computer for IEM. So this does any IEM. It worked well with the $3,000 Vision ears, and I was not missing a full-sized desktop amp or anything like that. And even it doesn't have a lightning cable, but if you use the famous DD Hi-Fi TC28i adapter, which costs about $30, then you play it. You play the EarMen Sparrow on your iPhone. So it works with essentially everything. It's very good. It's probably designed for mainly IEMs. For full-size headphones, you probably use their battery-operated EarMen Preamp, which I will review at a later time, which has actually a 3.5 millimeter socket and a 6.3 millimeter socket. So this is aiming for the big headphones. This is probably aiming more for the smaller IEMs. Okay, if you like this review, give us a like, ring the bell, get a notification, donate on PayPal, read the written review. Links below to everything. I am your Dr. Schweinsgruber in Calgary. Talk to you next time. Auf Wiedersehen.